Our class engaged in sustained dialogue, listening deeply to be changed by what you hear. We share experiences weekly about our identity issues important to our lives: race, gender, class, sexual orientation, and age. From our dialogues, we created this video to share our stories with other college students, to plant the seed of hope. We endure, we survive, we thrive.
People don't know that I've struggled with my identity for so long. Growing up, my family tried to help me see that every part of me was beautiful, but I couldn't help but feel embarrassed that my hair wasn't like everyone else's. Growing up in a predominantly white town, I didn't see other biracial or African American kids with natural hair until I was older. I tried to make myself look like everyone else's. I tried to fit in while everyone else tried to get their hair to do what mine did. I used to hate talking about the length of my hair because I hated myself for damaging it so much by putting it up in high ponytails all of the time. People don't know that I'm finally able to look at the multiple aspects of my racial identity and embrace them all at once. I feel less like I'm trying to be white or black and more like myself. People don't know that I spent so much time on homework because I take longer to learn. People don't know that I cry sometimes just because I feel like my efforts aren't enough, even when everyone around me says they are. People don't know that my independence isn't meant to frighten them. It's for me to build confidence. People don't know that I have issues trusting people because a lot of people have burned me in the past. People don't know that I feel lonely despite being surrounded by so many other people.
People don't know that I grew up very poor or how much I love paying it forward. People don't know how much sacrifices my parents have made, how much I struggle learning English. People don't know that I do not want to go to college. People don't know the struggles I went through as a kid. Don't know that I got cheated on in my first 4 relationships or that I got backstabbed by my best friend. People don't know that I worked 13 hours a day even when people considered me rich. People don't know that I feel lonely at college. People don't know how much I hate college for forcing me to take classes that are not related to my major and paying big bucks for. People don't know that I do not fit in.
I had a fulfilling but damaging childhood. My parents loved and do love me very much, I know that. Their divorce was horrible, and even though it was a long time ago, it still impacts me almost every day. Throughout my entire life, I have dealt with bipolar depression and anxiety, and some days it cripples me. I blame myself for it constantly, and at times hate myself for it, especially when it impacts my ability to do day-to-day things. I was talking with CPS agents almost routinely. My depression comes and goes. Some days are really good, and some days are absolutely horrible. I don't talk about how I feel much. Only my mom seems to understand me. I think people around me are noticing, and it has been sending me into a deeper sadness because I have always been proud of my ability to hide it from everyone. It isn't working anymore, and I'm scared that soon people will know this about me just by looking.
What one doesn't know about me when they look at me is that I'm the one who can hide my true feelings behind a smile. When you would think that I'm at my best, deep down inside, I'm really at my worst. My parents always taught me to never show my weak side around others, but rather show how I am strong. Consider I'm the only girl in my house. I believe I had gone through a period of depression, but was too scared to seek help because I thought it would make me seem like I had problems. Just the point of getting out of the house always made me feel better, whether it was with my best friend or picking up my favorite hobby of photography and just taking random pictures. When going through a hard time, it is so much easier to find a hobby than to sit down and talk with someone. You have to be able to trust this person and trust they will actually listen to you.
I live with my dad and lost my mom 8 months ago, lost my grandma a year ago, and have been watching my aunt struggle through cancer for years. Losing a parent, especially your mom, is one of the hardest things. I'm going through many emotions on any given day because I'm still grieving. I try not to show my emotions, but I have learned that it is good to let them out sometimes. Everyone needs a good cry every once in a while. I try to do the best I can, but I struggle a lot to fulfill the expectations of my family. Seeing a counselor was something I didn't really want to do. It is very uncomfortable at first, but everyone should talk to someone. Another thing I can say about going through this experience is to enjoy every moment, say I love you to those you love, and appreciate every day you wake up.
I'm about to be 19, not 15. I get very anxious. I have depression. My mom wasn't part of raising me. My grandmother, who was my mother figure, died when I was 10. Many family members have died from cancer, and every time my dad goes to the doctors, I get scared. I am passionate about equality. I grew up technically below the poverty line. I worked 2 jobs in high school to help pay the bills. I used to struggle with self-harm and eating disorders. I have made horrible mistakes. My daughter is my world. I surprisingly can be funny sometimes. I want to make my father proud.
I struggle with my depression. It gets worse in the winter months. My mom once blamed me for my parents fighting. I spend most nights overthinking and wondering if I'll make it through college. I have spent countless nights waiting up for the suicide hotline to pick up, but ended up crying myself to sleep before they answered. I am a survivor. I get scared when I hear yelling because that's all I heard my parents do while I was growing up. I've watched someone I love die from cancer and it was awful. I am so self-conscious, but I have learned to love myself more and more. I have fallen in love with life.
What we noticed as first-year students is that even though we have unique struggles, by having meaningful conversations with each other, we began to connect across our differences. As we related more on a human level, it didn't solve all our problems, but it helped us plant the seed. We learned to support and encourage each other, and we realized something. We are resilient.
Planting the seed. Mr. Domani opened his flower shop. He unlocked the doors and spread them wide open, watching the city awaken. People wouldn't know his safe haven was a shop, but if customers knew him well enough, they would know he was never the same after it burned down. He grabbed a bucket and poured water onto every flower. Some needed more than others. Some rejected it all at once. It's okay, lovely. We can try again tomorrow. Then, he would lay them on top of the wooden table that faced the window. The soft sun beamed on each color, a rainbow without rain. They were all beautiful. Why wouldn't someone take them all? The sun became brighter, and Mr. Domani removed the delicate ones, who could not have too much exposure. He gave them nutrients. Sometimes he would add more soil. Don't worry. We will try again tomorrow. In the end, all the flowers remained at the shop. While others did not see hope in the beautiful creatures, Mr. Domani whispered for the 3rd time, "It's okay, lovely. We'll try again tomorrow." He planted another seed and covered it to peacefully sleep and locked up his shop. The universe is large, but there's room for your beauty.
A new day awaits.